Hello guys, welcome to this video. In today's AI driven world, you might think that it's a waste of time to learn the basics concepts of programming like CRUD operations, because you can use tools like AI copilots or ChatGPT and can build apps from simple prompts. But if you talk to experienced developers, you will come to realize that AI won't replace all developers. It will only replace those who don't bring any real value. Like those who understand these core concepts and can debug and solve problems can actually build these things without any help. Those are the people who can leverage AI tools because they can boost their productivity and work. So today I'll be showing you how to build a simple task manager like application by using core PHP and MySQL. So I'm going to show you a demonstration of the project. So this is what our project will look like. So we will have a listing, a table which covers the read operation, and if you come over here and you can add a title, I'm going to add new task, and as a description I'm going to give and a new task. Okay, now if I click on create task, we can see this notification or an alert showing that we have successfully created a new task, and we can see the task over here. Okay, now if you click on this edit button, that's the update feature. So if I'm going to write 2 over here and click on update task. Okay, now we can see our task is successfully updated. And lastly, I'm going to click the delete button, which shows a pop-up, and if I press this yes delete button, we can see task has been deleted successfully. So this is what we are going to build. To build this project, having a basic understanding of HTML, CSS, JavaScript and core PHP will be beneficial, but I will still try my best to explain each line of code as if you are a complete beginner, so don't worry about that. And you can find the GitHub link of this project in the description, so you can check it out. So let's get started. Okay, to start working on this project, we need to install a few softwares like a server package like XAMPP and a text editor like VS Code. So if you have already installed this software, you can skip ahead. But if you haven't, I have given links to installing this software in the description. Go check it out, watch the full video and come back, because without this software we can't work on this project. After you have successfully installed XAMPP and VS Code, what we need to do is we need to first structure our project. So just open this file manager and go to the htdocs file that comes inside the XAMPP folder when you install it, and inside here we need to create a folder called CRUD. Demo. Inside this project is where we are going to store all our project files. So what we need to do is we need to open this folder in VS Code. Okay, now select that folder. Okay, now first of all what we are going to do is we need to set up the file folder structure for our project. First what we need is a config folder. This is where we are going to connect our project to the database. So inside this we can create a file called database.php. We'll put the code inside over here in a moment. First we are going to create all the folders we need. Next what we need is a folder to hold all our CSS. So inside this we can give a style.css file. Next we need to have a folder to hold all our JavaScript files. So for that I'm going to do JS, and inside this I'm going to give a file called script.js. Now what we need is 4 pages for each of the CRUD operations. So for create, for reading I'm going to call it index.php, because that's the page that should open by default. And for updating. For delete. Okay, now that we have structured our project, and next thing that we have to do is that we need to create a database and connect our database with our project. So for that, I'm going to close all these files and just keep this database.php file open. And next we need to open the SAM task manager. So go to your start menu and search for SAM control panel, sorry. And if you open this, this window will open, and you need to start the Apache and MySQL modules. Okay, now that these two modules have been started, just open a browser and search for localhost. Okay, in your case you may not see any of these folders, you will just see this CRUD demo. These are the projects that I've been working on. So if you click on the CRUD demo folder, you will see a blank page. That is because the index.php file of our project is completely empty. So to test, we can write a simple PHP script like this. And now if we come back and refresh, we can see our hello world over here. Okay, so now let's go to the PHP MyAdmin and create our database. This is a PHP MyAdmin interface. Now in this left side we can see this new option over here, so just click that. Okay, and we need to give our database a name. For our project, I'm going to give it CRUD demo, and I'm going to don't change anything else, just click on the create button. Okay, now our database is successfully created. Next thing that we need to do is we need to create a table inside our CRUD demo database to store all our task data. So for that, I'm going to name our table tasks and hit create. Now we need to fill out all the columns that we need in this table. So first what we need is an ID, and it's going to be integer, and its default should be none, and you need to check this AI or auto increment option because this is going to be our primary key. Okay, next what we need is a title field, and it's going to be a varchar of, if you select the varchar option, you need to set a length. So I'm going to give 288. You can give whatever length you want, and default can be null. That's it. And next what we need is a description field, and that is going to be a text info field, and you can set the default to null. Okay, and we need a created field, which is going to be a created is going to be a timestamp field. Now we need one more column for the updated at, so I'm going to add that, and I'm going to call it updated at to store the date and time of if the user updated the entry. Okay, so default I'm going to give null and null. Okay, now I'm going to hit the save button. Now we can see that our database is successfully created. Now what we need to do is we need to connect this database with our project. Okay, so for that you can come back over here and go to this database.php file, and we need to create 3 variables. Okay, our first variable will be called db host, and okay, first of all what we need to do is we need to open the PHP tag, which is very important. Okay, because otherwise PHP won't work. And first thing that we need to do is we need to create a variable for our db host, which is going to be localhost. Okay, next is for the database user, and this we're going to give root, and next is for the password. It's an empty string, and lastly we need to mention the database name. So db name equal to our database name is CRUD demo, right? So for that I'm going to give CRUD demo. Okay, now these are the credentials of our database. Since we are hosting it in a local DB, these first three variables will have the same value. The only thing that will change is the database name that we give. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to connect our DB with our project. For that I'm going to define another variable called connection, or in short con. Okay, I'm going to give new and call the MySQL function, and I need to pass these four variables: db host, db user, db password, and lastly db name. Okay, and we have this is all that we need to connect our DB with the project, but this is not actually very user friendly. Just in case if the connection failed or some error happened, the project will just stop working, and with a very unprofessional looking error page. So if an error occurred, we need to catch that error and show it to a user in an alert like form. So for that I'm going to put this inside a try block. Okay, and okay, we're going to try to connect to the database just in case the connection is an error. So we can check if connection error. If this happens, we're going to throw a new exception. And we're going to give a message called connection failed. Okay, and we're going to show the error message. So connection error, whatever the error is. Okay, so if this try block ever throws an exception, we need to catch that exception and handle it. So for that I'm going to open a catch block and open and close. Catch exception, and I'm going to call this exception E. Okay, catch this exception, and I'm going to put it inside a variable. And I'm going to use the get message function or method. This will get this message and show this to the user. Okay, to show this error message to the user, what we need to do is we need to add this error message in a session. So a session is just a array like thing that stores certain value, and we can store whatever we want in this session. So first what we need to do is we need to check if a session is already started. Okay, if a session already exists. So for that, if non, we use the isSet function, if not isSet $_ session. If this is not set, we need to start the new session. So for that, we can call the session start function. Okay, and what we need to do is just store this error message in the session, the value error equal to error message. That's it. Now in the front end, the only thing that we have to do is show this message session error inside an alert. That's it. So this is it, guys. We have successfully connected our project with the database.